Y'all remember how I told you I was a fan of Invincible, but haven't seen season 4 yet? I saw season 4 yesterday with Diego. I saw it from start to finish. Um, I'll be honest with you, okay? If you are an Invincible fan and you haven't seen season 4 yet, get out right now. I'm gonna say spoilers, okay? This is like the biggest warning I can give you, all right? Biggest warning I can give you if you like Invincible or you haven't seen it yet. I say leave right now. But here we go. Season 4, I think, was the most intense season I have ever seen. There was so much more at stake during season 4 that it literally surpassed season 3. For before, if you didn't know, my ranking before season 4 came out, it was season 3 on top, season 1 and season 2. I like season 2 the least, but that's not to say that season 2 is by all means a bad season. No, definitely not, because it's Invincible after all. It's Invinci-Peak, right? Here's the thing, okay? Here's the thing. Season 4 had so much more risk. It had so much more at stake. It just had so much more for you to be like, goddamn, like at the edge of my seat. There were scenes that were genuinely so hard to watch. Me and Diego had to pause and be like, gang, what is happening? There was so much stuff that went on, and it literally caught us off guard. Like Invincible is one of those shows where you think something is gonna happen, right? And you're so used to something extreme happening, and yet Invincible still somehow manages to catch you off guard and take you to another level of it. Granted, right? This season, it had, I think it had less dialogue and more action scenes, which I'm gonna talk about in a second. But I think that's good. I think that's what they needed. The only thing I kind of wanted was more like normal interaction type deal. Does that make sense? Like I just kind of want like more average or everyday normal reaction. But this season had so much to jam pack within 8 episodes that I think they did it perfectly. There was only one episode, which was the demon episode, where I thought it was kind of filler, but at the same time, it's Invincible. So at the end of the episode, they hinted that, oh yeah, this is gonna lead up to something bigger, you know. But I wish that happened to my favorite show. It's been 30 years and it's getting more boring and predictable. What 30 years? What show are you watching? The Simpsons? Are you watching The Simpsons? That's crazy. Or wait, no. What show has been on for 30 years? 30 years? No, it gotta be The Simpsons. Or Family Guy, at least. They've been out for 30 years, I think. That's crazy. Although, I feel like, despite The Simpsons being, like, as big of a staple, oh, it's an anime called Detective Conan. Detective Conan. I've never even, oh, wait, no, I have. I've seen memes of this show. Ah, I've seen memes of this show, but I have not seen it myself. Damn, wait, how long is this show? It's still going on? Why were you crashing out last time? Yo, what's up, Megan? What are you talking about? Why was I crashing out last time? Yeah, it came out in 1996, and oh yeah, it's still going. Holy shit, that's kind of crazy. It's over 1,000 episodes, which is ridiculous, my guy. Absolutely ridiculous. Well, anyway, back to Invincible talk. This season, bro. This season, you could definitely tell that they stopped fucking around with the animation. Their budget increased so greatly. Like before, it looked like PNG images that people would just press and just slowly move them, right, like that. But this season, they actually tried their hardest animating, and I actually love it. Me and Diego were both like, "Oh yeah, this is fire. This is perfect. This is exactly what they needed." My guy, it was about time that they needed this too, because how are you gonna tell me after 4 years you now decided to increase the budget when everybody in the internet is thinking about that this is peak, bro? Like what? But look, Invincible itself, my guy. You know what's so crazy is the fact that I'm still somewhat processing some of the stuff that happened in Invincible. Like it's insane because when I tell you it's the craziest season, I really think it's the craziest season. Not to say that there's like plot twists or anything like that. It's just this is the one season where they didn't have like a super major plot twist and they just kept it pushing, right? Like like the story kept making sense and making sense and making sense without being one story's gonna like one episode happening and then they're gonna immediately flip the direction and have two different stories. No, they naturally come up with one single episode. And when they did do that, when was it Nolan, Oliver, and Mark got stuck on the planet and everybody else was over fighting the war, that happened naturally. They didn't force that. Sometimes I feel like it was sometimes I feel like Invincible does it like pretty forced, but this time it was definitely a lot more natural when it came to like the story developing, and it was great too. I think it was great that Nolan got his redemption arc coming in. Nolan got his relationship with Oliver is getting better. His relationship with Mark that's his own thing, and his relationship with Debbie, ooh, that one's unfolding for sure. And I don't care what anybody says. By the end of that, bro, by the end of was it episode 8? I know damn well Nolan and Debbie are gonna crack in space. I already know, bro. You can't convince me otherwise. She doesn't have a boyfriend anymore, and she's alone in space with her ex. Granted, her ex is a monster in her eyes, but since Nolan's on his redemption arc, and then you know what I'm saying, like that's all I'm saying, bro. That's all I'm saying. But God, redemption, I want that. Listen. And on top of that too, bro, Invincible, bro, it's from last season, right? Invincible said, yeah, I want to get stronger. I'm going to stop pulling back punches. He actually locked in. This season, I think this is the most locked in I've ever seen him. Granted, he still got his ass beat a couple times, but it wasn't as bad to the extent as it was before. Now he was on killer mode for sure. Granted, I want to see an even stronger. Don't forget that Invincible is going to keep getting stronger and stronger, right? But my guy, this was such a great like flip to what he normally was. Same thing with Oliver too, bro. Oliver grew up from being a kid to now he's like a teenager-ish, right? Like I want to say like 14, 13-ish, maybe even 15. Because you know his species grows up faster, right? So this guy also had a training arc with Nolan, which helped his relationship with him, right? Which was amazing. I love to see that. And this guy was locked the fucking in every single fight. He did not back down until he was on the brink of death when he got his arm ripped off and his jaw completely punched out of its socket. He didn't have a jaw and he didn't have an arm, bro. That's how that is the extreme that Thrag had to put in order to stop Oliver, bro. Listen. I don't care what anybody says. That's the fucking GOAT right there. Bro, that's Walliver now. That's Walliver. Okay, I don't care what anybody says. That's got to be Walliver. On top of that too, what is it? Alan, funny as hell. I'm glad we got more Alan in this season because before, Alan is one of my favorite characters of all time. Bro, Alan is one of my favorite characters of all time. Now that he has more screen time and definitely more dialogue, and he's now with the leader of the regime or of the rebellion or whatever you want to call it, bro. Oh my God. Granted, he's nervous at first, but I already know he's going to be like the best leader of all time. I already know. Now, they did introduce finally Tech Jacket, right? They introduced Tech Jacket before, but now they actually gave Tech Jacket a whole story and dialogue and shit like that, bro. Tech Jacket, I swear to God, is now like my top 3 favorite characters in the show. I think Tech Jacket was such a good addition. And like I said, this season didn't feel forced. I feel like they got even better at the storytelling somehow. And Tech Jacket being added to it made it seem like, damn, this feels natural now, you know? And apparently Diego was telling me after that people were upset that Tech Jacket is a girl. I'm sorry, is the voice acting peak? Was the character good? Like what's the problem if it's a girl or a boy, dude? I don't give a fuck. I'm watching the show, and if I like the character, I like the character. Tech Jacket, perfect addition, my guy. It was a perfect addition to the show. I am telling you, it was beautiful. Oh my God, her moveset, she wasn't a useless character too, bro. At no point was she a useless character. And to see her and Alan interact like best friends, that shit was amazing. That shit was peak, bro. That was actually fun as hell. Like you can't convince me otherwise. What I was gonna say, bro. Tech Jacket interacting with everybody, I feel like that was such a good. Tech Jacket's kind of like a female version of Alan, though. That's the thing. That's how I saw it a little bit, and I just liked it, bro. It was actually fire. What is it, dude? She came in clutch many times. Like, damn. Like there was so much about the show that I liked, bro. All the characters that were like Essential were peak. Only person who I wish I saw more screen time of was Space Ranger. Space Ranger came in with that dog in him. How are you going to tell me this guy had a one-shot weapon with a motorcycle? He's basically that. You know what that is to me? That's basically the Ghost Rider of space. How are you going to not give the Ghost Rider of space more screen time? But hey, that's just me. That really is just me though. I'm gonna say it like that. It really is just me thing. All right. Well, who else was added? Oh yeah, we saw more. We finally saw Thrag, which I'm not gonna lie, for Thrag being built up to like this scary, like top tier like Viltrumite like killer type thing. His voice, it didn't match. It didn't match, but his skill level definitely did. Thrag, awesome demon timing, bro. Thrag is awesome demon timing, bro. That guy can. Bro, you know what's the fact that it's the fact that this guy literally threw Battle Beast across space with one punch. He you know what he did? He uppercutted Nolan through a building and sent him skyrocketing in space. And Nolan didn't stop until he reached the outer ring of Viltrum with all the dead bodies floating around, and he blew that up. My guy. This motherfucker's terrifying. And when Invincible tried to hit him for the first time, when Invincible made that made that hit to the forehead, to the head, not only did the animators cook up with the bright light, but then it immediately turned dark for one frame, showing a demon face. I couldn't say anything. Me and Diego had to rewind that like 3 times just to see that we were seeing, just to know that we were seeing that correctly. Bro, I can't, man. I actually can't. That was, I think, the greatest bit of animation I've seen in that one episode, especially because when Space Ranger shot in the planet, in Planet Viltrum, and what is it? You had, what is it? Thaddeus, Nolan, and Mark destroying the planet from the inside out. Oh my god. Going in from one end of the planet to the was it second? Dude, that whole episode was full of crazy peak, my guy. That full episode was full of insane drama, but it wasn't bad drama. It was like, it had to do with the story, which is great. Everything about that was great. And then you have Eve, right? Eve is genuinely such an amazing person. Because how are you going to tell me she found out she was pregnant before Mark went to go fight a war? And she managed to deal with the whole abortion while Mark was up in space. So she dealt with the abortion alone. She dealt with being pregnant alone. And you know what she did when Mark came back? She said, yeah, I'm sorry I didn't tell you, but I wanted you to focus on not dying and not getting pregnant. She literally didn't even blame Mark for being gone so long. I love her. If she is not considered one of the greatest girlfriends of all time after that, I have no idea what else could. I really have no clue what else can give her GOAT status for like girlfriends or just person in general. Because that's already insane. When I saw that, I was like, please, just tell him, right? Then when she finally told him, I was like, oh my god, she's not complaining about it. Or not really complaining about it. She's not like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's not, what is it? Damn. She's not blaming Mark for it. There we go. She's not blaming Mark for it. She's not blaming anybody for it. Bro, holy hell. It was just amazing to see, man. It was just amazing to see. Also, Deborah getting healed finally from Paul. Granted, they broke up at the end, but still, the fact that, you know, she got healed, like, emotionally, being taken care of a person, like a normal person, I feel like it was great. And they broke it up because they said, yeah, maybe our worlds are too different, right? And you know what? Maybe that was the most responsible thing for them to do. Maybe that was the most responsible thing for them to do. But you know what? You know what it is? It's the fact that Deborah has dealt with so much like superhero-ness that even they talk about in the show that, yeah, our worlds are just too different. Like, we can't really deal with it. But still, Paul was a W mans for still staying friends and listening to Deborah's issues and problems and helping her out through it. I thought that was a great thing, right? Now, Deborah's relationship with Nolan, they're cracking for sure. I don't know if they're gonna get back together, but they're definitely cracking for sure in space. No one's gonna convince me aside from that. Then in the final episode, episode 8, you had Mark coming back to Earth, and this guy had panic attacks on panic attacks on panic attacks. They were so bad. This guy was seeing visions of people dying, and Thrag over here killing everybody. Oh my god, I felt bad for Invincible, but this guy was dealing with so much that he eventually went back to Cecil, and he was like, yeah, dude, I'm gonna need to talk to some therapists, bro. I can't keep living like this. This shit sucks. And I think that's a good thing. He should have been gone to therapy since Chicago. He should have been gone to therapy since season 1. Why didn't he do it? Beyond me, but that's besides the point. Then towards the final minutes of the episode, you had Thrag pulling up to Earth, being like, yeah, we're gonna stay here. We're gonna dress up like humans. You will not know where we are. And we're gonna fuck every single person we see here so we can get the Viltrum blood back. And then on top of that, he said, yeah, and there's nothing you're gonna do about it, because if you do try to resist, then we're just gonna kill everybody, everything, and we're gonna split your planet in half. What the fuck? What the fuck was that? What the fuck does that mean? And if that's not bad enough, he literally told Mark, I want you to choose what's going to happen to your planet. Would you rather us stay, breed with your people, and there's nothing you could do about it, or would you rather try to resist, which is not going to last very long, and we're going to destroy your planet? Mark said yes. And honestly, I think that's the best outcome that could have come out there. Yo, they were not ready. They were not prepared. I don't care what anybody says. Bro, they could not ISO Thrag alone. I'm pretty sure if every other Viltrumite was gone, right? Was dead. And it was just Thrag, I'm so convinced that even the entire Earth, right? Even all the heroes on Earth still couldn't defeat Thrag. That's how that's how fucking strong this guy was. This guy fucking this guy's a monster. This guy's an actual. He's not a villain. No, he's a monster. He's a genuine monster. I'm not joking when I say that. So then the last episode, officially ends off with, what is it? Alan getting this last message from Thaddeus, which was the old rebellion leader, and saying that, yo, I have this virus that originally killed off 99% of the original Viltrumite blood. So in total, right now, currently, there were less than 40 Viltrumite, about 37-ish, right? There are less than 40 Viltrumites left, which are the bad people. And and Thaddeus literally gave Alan the virus to kill them all. But the problem with the virus, Thaddeus even said, yeah, if you release this virus, anybody with any type of Viltrum blood, doesn't matter if it's 1%, doesn't matter if it's 2%, doesn't matter if it's 0.1%, they will die. And if you don't know how the virus is like, it's like having Ebola, basically. Like, you start bleeding from your eyes, you start coughing up blood, you start throwing up blood, and it's just bad. It was just bad. They show it in the show at episode 2. It was just bad, bro. So Alan, so now Alan's at a debate, right? Where if I was Alan, what do I do? Because look, here's one thing that you don't even, that Alan doesn't know yet, is that Thrag and all the Viltrums are in Earth right now. Mark needs to tell him that, but I don't know if Mark can. That's the problem. So if Alan ever figures that out and sends the virus there, Mark and Oliver are dead. Same thing with Nolan. So the 3 good Viltrumites are just gonna die. And they, especially Mark and Oliver, have proven time and time again that they are not, like, they are not supporting Viltrum at all. They're not doing that at all. No part of them has any hate or any loyalty towards the Viltrum Empire. So if Alan was there, man, I feel like he would be in a genuine like debate, because what do you do at that point? Like what do you actually do? You can either let let the Viltrums live and figure out another way, or you can just say fuck everybody and kill your day 1 and your day 2 and your day 3. Listen. That's up for Alan to figure out. That's up for people to do it in season 5. Which, by the way, I'm already predicting season 5 is the season where Mark is gonna get how do I say this? Let's go to Beto. How do I say this? See, I think that season 5 is the season that Mark is going to get aggressively hugged. He's about to get an unwanted hug. That's what I think Mark is gonna. That's what I think is gonna happen in Mark in season 5. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, let that be. If you do know what I'm talking about, if you know, you know. That's the type of thing I'm trying to say. If you know, you know. He's about to get aggressively hugged. I think that's the best thing I can say without my shit getting taken down. But yeah. Overall, season 10 11 out of 10, bro. This is the best season they came out with so far. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say.